say hello, fearless talk. You know how we do it in this space. We try to get our healing. Hey, it's Wade's word of the day. 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 Wade's word of the day.
Here we go.
Yeah. Here we go. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Somebody say hello, fearless talk. You know how we do it in this space. We try to get our healing. Hey, it's Wade's word of the day. 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 Wade's word
of the day. Y'all know what it is. Hey, yeah, if you're feeling that one, I love that entry. Y'all should know what it is by now. Y'all should be able to sing along with Wade's word of the day. Wade's word of the day. Wade's word of the day. Yeah, it's Wade's word of the day. Vernon Barnes, you picking up what I'm putting down. We're trying to go viral. Now listen, what I need you to do. If you did not like the post on your way in, make sure that you like the post itself on your way out. You know, thumbs up, heart sign. We love all of those type of things. Don't just hit the like and the hearts in the comment section, but we need you to put a like on the post itself. So make sure that you do that tonight. We may even take some calls tonight. Maybe later I'll have my producer put up the phone number and you can call in and tell me what's going on with you. But first of all, check in tonight. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you're at peace and all of that. How are you feeling in this space? We always try to check in every now and then and see how we are doing. But let's go ahead and talk about it tonight, because I got a wonderful word we want to talk about tonight, and it's, let me pull it up. We always try to define a thing before we talk about a thing, so let's define it. Tonight we want to talk about the word. Todd Lewis, what's going on, man? Checking in from St. Louis. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for coming into the room. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. So listen, we always try to define a thing before we talk about a thing. Yeah, I see everybody feeling okay. All right. I am feeling well. I'm feeling good, actually. I'm feeling real good. Let's define it real quick. The word tonight is pressure. So let's define it. The feeling of stressful urgency caused by the necessity of doing or achieving something, especially when you have limited time. Pressure. Can I just say right from the beginning that our world is full of pressures, that our lives are full of pressures? The truth of the matter is, man, you can turn around and find pressure everywhere. And if we keeping it a buck, if we keeping it 100, individuals who be talking about, that they're never under pressure. Come on now. Yeah, we all have levels of pressure. Somebody ought to take your finger tonight and say, I know that's right. There can be pressure on the job. There can be pressure as it relates to completing a project. There could be pressure just from navigating this thing called life. Raising children, being responsible for things. All of these things bring their level bring their levels, if you will, of pressure. Working a 9 to 5 can bring some pressure. Bills bring pressure. You know, the old folk used to talk about when they would say that folk is stressing them out, they'd be like, you're working on my pressure now. You're working on my pressure. Life is full of all of these pressures. And so we have to be honest about that right from the beginning. We all have our levels of pressure. But there are things that we can do to mitigate that pressure. There are tools that we can use that would help us alleviate some of that stress. Yeah, there are tactics that you and I can use to help us navigate through the seas or through the waters, if you will, of pressure. Yeah, you can. I know they may be working on your pressure, but you can develop some tools that will help you to cope with some of the pressure. Can I say it like this? Whatever it is, the first thing, it could be a project on your job. It could be navigating your home and your household. It could be the pressure of maintaining a certain lifestyle. But let me say it like this. The first thing that you need to do is focus on the task or the project at hand first, not simply on the outcome. See, oftentimes our pressure comes because we're looking at what will the outcome be. Have you ever been in a space and you're thinking about what will happen at 5 p.m., but you're just starting the project at 8 p.m.? And so because you spend so much time worrying about the outcome, you lose focus on the task or the project at hand. So if you're going to deal with some of these pressures of life, hey, sometimes you just got to focus on what's in front of me. We talked about it on yesterday, Sundays with LHBC. Sometimes you just got to take things one step at a time. Somebody ought to say, I know that's right. So if it's on your job, you got a big project, focus on the project. Not necessarily what will my boss think, what will my boss say. If you're trying to get the house in order, focus on the task at hand, not necessarily on how my husband might feel about it, how my wife might feel about it, how my children might feel about it. One step at a time. This is why they say, even if you are trying to get your house together, they say, listen, are you trying to do a remodeling project in your house? They say, don't try to do it all at one time. Do one room. Work on one room at a time. Because when you begin to focus on all of these tasks and all of these things that you have to do, you start to think about the outcome. Instead of just focusing on the task, it'll add all types of stress, all types of pressure onto your life. So focus on the task, one step at a time. Number two, if you are, looking to succeed and you feel like you're under pressure to perform and to excel. Number two, recognize that this is not the only opportunity that you will have in your life. Most of the people who have ever done anything successfully have failed over and over and over until they found that thing. till they found the right thing. So remind yourself, this won't be the only opportunity. This won't be the only chance. This won't be the only project. This won't only be the only moment for me to excel. How many times have you, if you would look back on your life, how many times will you look back and you were stressing out over something only to discover it wasn't your last opportunity or your last chance to excel or accomplish that thing? But too often we get into the space, if I don't get it right, I'm never going to be able to do it again. No, you're too talented. You're too brilliant. You got too much favor on your life for you to think that this will be the only opportunity for you. So when you put it into perspective and you say, hey, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to do all that I can do. I was watching this show on Netflix, and it was about this singing group. They were putting together, this pastor with Pharrell, they were putting together this singing group. I don't know if you all watched it or whatever, but there was this young lady on here, and she was just talking about how she just felt the pressure of it all. And then there was this other gentleman. He was talking about how he had felt the pressure of it all. And the choir director just pulled him to the side and said, man, listen, you put too much weight and stress on yourself. Just let it go and just perform. Let it go and just perform. And the outcomes will take care of themselves. Let me say that again. And the outcomes will take care of themselves. If you know that you have put in the work, that you have done the best that you can do, the outcomes will take care of themselves. Somebody ought to take your finger and say, I know that's right. I hear you, Dr. Scott. We've all been there. We've all, at one point in our life, put all of this pressure on ourselves to do this thing, accomplish this thing, get this thing done, getting all stressed out, only to realize, man, there are going to be other opportunities. But if I feel good about the work that I put in, if I feel good about the energy that I gave to it, then the outcomes will take care of themselves. Yeah. Somebody needed to hear that tonight. The outcomes will take care of themselves. Listen to me. I'm not saying that you shouldn't work hard. I'm not saying that you shouldn't give the energy that's necessary or the time that's necessary, but understand that if you're doing those things, the outcomes will take care of themselves. Somebody ought to say, I know that's right. I know that's right. Here's another thing. Here's another thing to relieve some of your stress, some of your pressure, if you will. Remember your past successes. We say it like this in the church: if he did it before, he'll do it again. Yeah. Some of us keep going because we remember the testimony. We remember if he did it before, he'll do it again. I wish I had somebody in the room tonight who would say, I know that's right. Remember your past successes. Remember how you accomplished that. You remember, how you got it done. Remember how he made a way out of no way. Look back over your life and see how the Lord has made a way for you in your life. Remember your past successes. See, the reason that I'm able to keep on pushing and keep on going, because I don't look back and remember the negative stuff, but I remember the past successes. I remember what it took and all of the work that it took to do some of the things that I've done and how it all came together. And that keeps me going for the next thing. So you got to remember your past successes. And when you remember your past successes, it has a way not only of giving you confidence, that it alleviates some of the pressure and some of the stress, because you begin to tell yourself, I have what it takes to get it done. Yeah, not only do I have what it takes to get it done, but I'm connected to He who knows all things, He who sees all things, He who does all things well. And He said, if He's for me, He's more than the world against me. He said that all things will, in fact, work together for my good. He said He's in the business of supplying my needs. And then Grandma and them said something like this: if you gonna pray, why worry? And if you gonna worry, why pray? Yeah, so remember your past successes. That's number three. That's number three. Let me give you number four. Be positive. Number four, be positive. Be positive. It's not as bad as it seems. Be positive. Yeah, be positive. It's not as bad as it seems. I know the dinner is a little bit late, but it'll get made. It's not as bad as it seems. I know you're running a little bit late, but it ain't as bad as it seems, as long as you get there safe. Be positive. Learn how to look at the sunny side of things. Remember that the sun will come out tomorrow. Yeah. Be positive. Smile. Every now and then, you just got to smile at yourself. Every now and then, you got to look in the mirror and you got to do what David did. You got to encourage yourself. Be positive. It will work out. It will come to pass. It's not as bad as it seems. God is going to get glory out of this. Be positive. Be positive. Be positive. Yeah. When you start to do that, that gives you confidence as well. When you can be positive, when you can smile your way through some things, knowing and believing not only that His word is true and that what He says is real, but also knowing that He has a way of working out all of these things. One of the things that I started to tell myself probably about 3 years, really strong 3 years, I would say whenever it would get tight or something would be going on, even whether it was with me or with others, I would say something like this: God has a way of working all of this out. God has a way of working all of this out. And so if He does not slumber, nor does He sleep concerning you and I, if He watches over me both day and night, that means that I can sleep at night. Because He's watching over my stuff and He's watching over me. I ain't got to go to bed all stressed out and all worried out. Why? Because He's handling the night hour for me. Yeah, that's why the writer said, cast all your cares on Him, for He cares for you. That's why the writer said, when you're weary and heavy laden, that you can come upon Him, that you can lay your yoke on Him. Somebody ought to say, I know that's right tonight. I know that's right tonight. Yeah. So be positive. Be positive. Yeah. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming. Be positive. Let me give you one that I just love to do when pressure hits. Now I just throw some music on. I throw on some music. Yeah. You have to learn. When your pressure is going up, don't lose your song. Find some music that soothes your soul, that changes the atmosphere, because music has a way of changing atmospheres. Find your song, find some music, listen to some music. You can listen to some music that make you bounce, listen to some music that make you groove, listen to some music that calms your spirit. You do know this is why David first ends up amongst the king, because the king is cutting up and acting a fool. But when David begins to play some music, Bible says that it calms the king's nerves and his stresses. Music has a way of doing that. Music has a way of helping you to change your mind, and music has a way of helping you to feel better about your situation. Music has a way of reminding us that it's not as bad as it seems. Music, yeah, so find your song. Don't lose your song. I know you're saved, but don't lose your song. Don't lose your song. Find you some music that calms you and gives you peace and gives you joy. You know, soon as I stop worrying how the story ends, I let go and I let God. Let God have his way. That's when things start happening. I stop looking at back when I let go and I let God. Let God have his way. See, I feel better already. I feel better already. Just that song right there. When the pressure hit me, let go. Yeah. Soon as I stop worrying. You understand what I'm saying? Don't lose your song. Don't lose your song. Your song has a way of changing the atmosphere. Shifting the atmosphere. Y'all know that, right? Yeah, it has a way of shifting the atmosphere. Yeah, all of them songs, whatever it is that makes you feel better, whatever music that you can listen to some music that makes you feel better. And then finally, whatever that thing is that's giving you stress, whatever it is, project, whatever, make it fun. Make it fun. There are some things in life that we just got to do, but you got to find a way to make it fun. You got to find a way to find the laughter in it. Yeah, make it fun. You got to find a way to make it joyful. Yeah, make it fun. Yeah. Laugh at yourself. Yeah, it's okay. You got to make it fun. And I know some things are challenging. I know some things are difficult, but listen, you got to find a way to say to yourself, I'm not going to allow this thing to get me all stressed out. I know I got a deadline. I know I got all of these responsibilities. I know I got to be doing this and I got to be doing this. I'm on a deadline. I got to be here. I got to be there. But you got to find a way to make it fun. Because here's the reality. Somebody said, if you find something that you really enjoy, you'll do it for free. If you find something that you really enjoy, you will do it for free. If you find something that you really enjoy, you don't have a job. If you find something that you really enjoy to do, so you just got to figure out, man, how do I make this thing fun? How do I find the fun in it? That'll begin to help you to relieve some of your pressure. Let me close by saying this. Paul said some wonderful words, and they're wonderful because they come to the church at Corinth. And if you know anything about what's going on with the church at Corinth as it relates to Paul, this particular church gives Paul all types of issues. If I wasn't in church, I might use another word, but they are bugging out as it relates to Paul. Paul finds all types of issues with this particular church. But in spite of that, he gives them some wonderful words there in 2 Corinthians chapter number 4, verses 7 through 9. Notice what he says. He says, oh man, just these words are wonderful. He says, but we have this treasure in jars of clay, talking about our body, our flesh, to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us. We are afflicted in every way, but we are not crushed. Perplexed, but we are not driven to despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Struck down, but not destroyed. Paul says all of these pressures come, but God provides an alternative that helps us to move into the purpose and the plan that he would have for our lives. Notice what he says again. He says, in these jars of clay, in you and I, we have this treasure, this strength, this treasure. And we recognize that that power, that thing that we have down on the inside is not us, but it's the wonder-working power of God. And it helps us to recognize that when we are afflicted in every way, we're not crushed, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, cast down, struck down, but never destroyed. When you begin to understand what Paul is saying as it relates to you and I and what God has put down on the inside of us, he's giving you everything that you need to be able to handle your pressure. But just trust him today. Trust him and know that he will be with you every step of your life. And when you recognize that he will be with you every step of your life, you can deal with your pressure.